Hello and welcome to the 16th race of the Utica Home Track Series here at the Richmond Motor Speedway. We only have 4 races to go on our schedule, and with that, these drivers are going to have to try and really focus. They got to make the most out of these last 4 races. 20 cars are currently mathematically locked in for the championship, but realistically it would probably be the top 10. The starting lineup rolls past, and 2 cars failed to qualify for today's race. Will be coming right up in a second. Cars that failed to qualify include the number 8 of Matt Corio and the 55 of Michelle Ciadino. Matt Corio's team, with Ciadino Ed, they closed down the number 8 car operation following qualifying. Andrew Wiegand getting his first pole of the Utica Home Track Series. John Ciadino's going to get to the outside of him, but Andrew Wiegand's going to go to the inside. The Spencer's Dodge has not seen too many runs near the front. This is a good race for him. Russell Arcuri, 7th on the grid, the Silverstone winner, has not seen too much success. He is currently mathematically locked out of winning the championship, but he can still lock himself in on points if he finishes well enough. Will Coleman, last week's winner at Charlotte in the big Chevy, sits in 2nd. He managed to get around John Ciadino, so would Ian Perfetti in the 56. The 85 car having a good run. This could be a good run for the championship too if he can keep up these consistent runs. Mooney Pesic in the number 97, random wrappers on the side of the car as usual, running 10th on the grid right now. It was very fortunate that he was able to make the race. He's been having some bad luck in the 97, especially that heartbreaking wreck at Zandvoort, but he's running well today. Samantha Yankee in the 73 has had trouble this season. Last week had that gas leak inside the car that put her several laps down and actually took her out of the race. She's back this week, she's all better, and is running 15th. Ian Perfetti in the 56 got around John Ciadino early on in the race. He sits in 3rd. Earlier this season we thought he was going to get some wins this year, but hasn't happened yet. This could be the race to do it. He sits 3rd on the grid. Renee Gagnon was not having a good start to this race. She was in 25th at around lap 40. The Major Ford has had a lot of poles this season and has been so close to victory, but just out of grasp. It's a long race though. The 13 car can catch up. John Ciadino is sitting 4th. He'd rather be sitting 1st right now, but he's not complaining about the top 5. This will help him in the points. The 2-time winner in this series has not won since early this year. But this looks like a good run for the Expedix Chevy. He's right up there with the leaders. Russell Arcuri is going to have some trouble early on in the race. A tire puncture on lap 68. He dives down to the inside and slows it down just in case that tire shreds. He does not want to wreck out a couple of the cars. Smart move. Russell Arcuri is going to have to pit early. It's upsetting. This team is underfunded. They came here looking for a good show. Dan O'Neill in the 02 running very well. 5th at the current time in a single car team, the Ludwig Pontiac. It's up near the front. We haven't really talked about this driver much. Last time he led was Daytona. David Yankee, the road race ace in the Belkin Dodge, doing pretty well in this race. A lot better than his teammate and sister Samantha Yankee. He sits around 10th on the grid. Good job for him. Russell Arcuri changed 4 tires during that pit stop to fix the tire puncture. I think that was a really smart move. He's much faster than the rest of these cars, and his car is running very well. He passed Brian Broke, Brian Valentine, and Renee Gagnon, all who are at the tail end of the field. If he keeps this up and just keeps out of trouble, he can actually get back in the lead lap. So this could be a turnaround for Russell Arcuri in the number 10. Tyler Benoit's a little happy that Brian Valentine is not doing well today. He's one of his main competitors for the championship. Tyler Benoit not seeing the best on the field right now, around mid-pack. Will Coleman would take the lead on lap number 111 as Andrew Wiegand went to pit. And then the lap after that, Jamie Murphy would take the lead as Will Coleman went to pit. Both drivers get an extra bonus point, but under pit stops, we had our first caution. Maria Camiso is looking down to go into pit road. Andrew Wiegand pitted, but he had to go back in, but he's just going to dive in. Oh! Hard impact for the number 26, and Brian Broad wasn't going to wait for her. And there's something broken with that number 26. Andrew Wiegand's just going to plow right underneath. And it's just going to cause this needless wreck. I'm sure the officials will give him a warning. Maria Camisa would go a few laps down. Here's another angle of the wreck. Yeah, it just dives right underneath. Plows into the back first into that wall. Good job by a lot of these drivers to avoid him. Brian Broad is just going to push her out of the way. And under caution, this happened under caution. Russell Arcuri is a relatively smart gentleman. He built this car himself. He's running this entire race team. He managed to win a race at Silverstone. I mean, he knows his driving. But going down the backstretch under caution, the pace car had come out. He's just going to run himself into the pace car. And that's just going to tear up his car pretty badly. Whoa, we got some smoke down below. Whoa, is that Brian Valentine? We're going to have to get another look. Russell Arcuri's going to have to pit for that damage. Brian Valentine's trying to avoid the pace car, and he's going to slide. Ooh! David Yankee in the 07 is just going to plow right into the back of him. Wow, this entire caution period was just needless wrecks. None of these wrecks had to happen. I don't know. It's the nighttime air that's getting to these drivers, I assume. Both cars would get racing, but they're lapped down. Gabe Carraz is going to take the lead after pit stops. Now Gabe Carraz has not left much of an impact this season, and he's trying for it now. He's got the race lead. His teammate Josh LeMayo was not doing especially well. He was a lap down. Only 7 cars were on the lead lap when caution came back. The Sonoma winner was hoping for a better day, but his teammates leading the race. Samantha Yankee, in case things couldn't get any worse, the header's going to go on number 73. This car would pull out of the race. Samantha Yankee had a mechanical issue last race, and things have just gone downhill ever since her surprise win at Mosport. Robert DeFrank for the Citadino Red Motorsport Group sits in second, and he's closing in on Gabe Carraz. He's hoping that Gabe Carraz runs into some lap traffic, like maybe Will Coleman, so that he could sneak around him and maybe take the lead. Robert DeFrank won the Kyalami race earlier this year. Matt Evans has been having a terrible season. That's been kind of up and down. He did have some successes and wins, but a lot of wrecks. He's up near the top of the field. Robert DeFrank would get that lap traffic he wanted, but it's not going to help him. Maria Camiso is going to slow him down, and she's not going to be a grateful back marker. Robert DeFrank's going to start to lose car number 16, Gabe Carraz, and the rest of the field behind him bunches up. There's Ian Perfetti in the 56. Megan Curley was having one of her best runs of the year. She sits third on the grid right behind the lap car of John Ciadino. That rainbow-colored Pontiac, the Rainbow's End machine, and her team have been struggling this year. Her last good run was at Laguna Seca, race 7. Tyler Smith was 15th, but still enjoying this race because Tyler Benoit was sitting 22nd, and Brian Valentine was sitting 24th, I believe. This is going to help him out in the points. He's going to catch. It's not going to be over great for Tyler Smith, but he's going to catch up to those 2 drivers that have been beating him. Coming to the end of the race, Robert DeFrank had the pit with 2 laps to go after a tire puncture, but Gabe Carraz would win the race in the Mountain Dew Ford. This is Gabe Carraz's first win and his second for his racing team, Carraz Motorsports. Josh LeMayo won earlier this year. Congratulations to the driver and crew of the 16. Here are the race results. Gabe Carraz was your race winner. Megan Curley, her best finish ever, in second. Matt Evans, a great third place. Munib Peskic, I think that's another best finish of his career. Will Coleman was the last car in the lead lap. LeMayo was the first car off the lead lap. Robert DeFrank would finish 8th. The pole sitter Andrew Wiegand would finish 11th. Renee Gagnon's going to come back from the last spots to go 14th. Russell Arcuri's going to finish 17th despite all the trouble. Brian Valentine is 20th, sorry. Benoit is 22nd. Samantha Yankee was the only car not to finish the race. The Yankees having a tough day. Here are the top 10 in points. With only 3 races left, Gabe Carraz has 250 points, 10 over Tyler Smith. Robert DeFrank sits 3rd, Andrew Wiegand 4th, Coleman 5th. Now, 20 cars are still mathematically eligible for the championship, but if I had to guess, it's probably going to be one of these drivers in the top 10 that end up taking the crown. Should be an exciting points battle. Renee Gagnon moving up a lot of spots, finishing with 219 points. She sits 10th. Next race, we're going to Monza, the Italian circuit. I hope to see you there. I'm out.